Welcome to Storyflix. In this video, we will explain Peach Girl. This movie tells the story of a high school student who appears to be a wild girl due to her tan skin and dyed hair, but she is actually a naive and sweet student. When other students try to destroy her good image, she gets up even when her boyfriend is snatched away. Will she be able to find her true love when everyone is constantly cornering her? Let's find out in Peach Girl. Peach Girl tells the story of a high school girl named Momo Adachi. Momo usually goes to school with an umbrella to protect herself from the hot sun every day. Momo is always at a loss because she's mistaken as an easy bimbo girl due to her tan skin and dyed hair, but she is actually a naive and sweet girl. On the other hand, a handsome young man named Kairi Okayasu is very popular at Momo's school. Kairi also has the reputation of being a playboy, something he is not exactly proud of. At school, Momo befriends a girl named Sei Kashiwagi. Even though she looks innocent, Sei is actually very cunning and manipulative. She is the one who spreads malicious gossip about Momo and often uses the gossip to make people dislike Momo as a result of her own jealousy and insecurity of Momo. Because people believe more in Sei, who looks like a good girl, than Momo, who is always labeled as an airheaded Ganguro girl, Momo is always the subject of gossip from her classmates who think she has had many sexual relationships. However, there is a handsome and popular young man named Kazuya Tajigamori, commonly referred to as Toji, who is very considerate of Momo and is always kind to her. Toji has been Momo's crush since junior high school, although he never confessed to her due to a friend saying he doesn't like girls with tan skin. Various ways have been done by Momo to whiten her tan skin, but still to no avail. Meanwhile, knowing that Momo really likes Toji, Sei decides to get Toji's love and have the handsome young man for herself. Momo tries to dodge when Sei confronts her about her feelings for Toji by telling her that she actually has a crush on Kairi. However, Sei doesn't seem interested in Kairi and prefers Toji, who is an athlete on the school basketball team. On the other hand, Kairi, who realized that Momo had been watching him for a long time, teased her a little by winking at her. The next day, rumors about Momo dating Kairi immediately spread at school, where the person who first created and spread the rumor was none other than Sei. Furthermore, Momo has to deal with being the target of harassment by other girls who like Kairi. Presuming that Kairi was the one who had spread rumors about them dating and kissing, Momo then went to him, intending to demand an explanation. Kairi innocently told Momo that she had given him CPR when he had nearly drowned at the beach when they were younger. But Momo denies this, saying that she wasn't the one who gave him CPR at the beach. When Momo is upset by the rumor, Kairi tries to make the rumor true by kissing Momo unexpectedly. On the other hand, Sei secretly captured the moment Momo and Kairi were kissing in class. The next day, Sei shows Momo and Kairi a recording of Momo kissing, which apparently has gone viral on social media, and acts as if she wasn't the one who spread it. Momo, who thought that Kairi was the one who spread the footage on social media, then went to him and demanded an explanation. But Kairi doesn't mind this and instead asks Momo to date him. On the other hand, the recording of Momo and Kairi kissing was also known to Toji. Toji then goes to Kairi and tells him not to hurt Momo because Momo is a good girl. Kairi then tells Toji that he really likes Momo and will not play with Momo as he thinks. Kairi turns out to have an older brother named Ryo who plans to get married soon. Ryo works in the video game industry and is quite successful at his job. Their father always compares Kairi with Ryo because Ryo always makes his father proud of his success. Meanwhile, Kairi never seemed to be serious in school. His academic grades were always below average, so his father had to bring in a tutor to help him study and improve his academic performance at school. Ryo's fiancée, Miss Ao, used to be Kairi's tutor. Miss Ao is now working as a nurse and is an ideal older sister figure for Kairi because she is very kind and caring, unlike his brother who is always cold to him. Although Kairi does not have good academic grades, he seems to have a great interest in the culinary world, where he often takes cooking classes and dreams of becoming a chef. Meanwhile at school, Toji overhears Momo telling Kairi that she loves him, not Kairi. Toji eventually dates Momo not long after, but Sei wants Toji for herself. Sei then uses various ways to separate Momo and Toji by spreading rumors that she and Toji are actually dating, and Momo tries to snatch Toji from her. Of course, everyone believes more in Sei with her good girl image and starts to think of Momo as a bad girl who often steals people's boyfriends. When Toji is hospitalized due to an injury, Sei keeps saying bad things about Momo to incite Toji to end his love affair with Momo. On the other hand, Kairi then met Momo and invited her to visit Toji together while clearing up the misunderstanding between Momo and Toji. Through Toji's treatment room window at the hospital, Sei knew that Momo and Kairi were going there. Momo then entered Toji's treatment room and saw Sei and Toji hugging. Momo immediately felt jealous, but she came there to explain to Toji that all the rumors about her were not true. Hearing this, Sei did not stay silent and continued to incite Toji. But then Kairi entered the room and exposed all the lies and rumors that Sei had spread about Momo. Because Toji is still unsure who is telling the truth, Momo then threatens to kill herself by jumping out of the window to make Toji believe her. But suddenly a very strong wind blew, at which time Momo was busy holding her skirt, so the handle slipped and she slipped from the window. Luckily, Toji swiftly caught Momo's arm and saved her. Eventually, Toji and Momo get back together, and Kairi seems relaxed and happy to see Toji and Momo together. But not so with Sei, who kept thinking of various ways to separate Toji and Momo. Because all thing she wants is to humiliate Momo and get Toji all for herself. When Toji was looking for a birthday present for Momo, Sei suggested he buy a perfume with a peach scent. However, unbeknownst to Toji, Sei plans something devious to destroy their relationship. On Momo's birthday, Momo looks very happy to get a birthday gift from Toji in the form of peach-scented perfume. However, they both looked awkward and speechless when they were alone together. After celebrating her birthday with Toji, Momo then received a call from Sei, who seemed to be in trouble and asked Momo to meet her because she really needed help. Momo immediately rushed to the location that Sei mentioned to help her but couldn't find Sei anywhere. Not long after, a man seemed to approach Momo to set her up. On the other hand, Sei, who turned out to be fine, then sprayed peach-scented perfume and came to Toji disguised as Momo. However, Toji soon realized that Sei was not Momo and broke her disguise. Sei then told Toji that Momo was currently making out with another man. Toji didn't necessarily believe Sei's words, but she said she could show it to Toji. When Toji and Sei headed to Momo's place, Kairi caught sight of the two of them and immediately concluded that something had happened to Momo. Kairi rushed to follow the two of them, where they finally arrived at a hotel and found Momo in bed naked with a man. Seeing his girlfriend with another man, Toji immediately left her without a word, while Kairi immediately realized that it must have been all planned by Sei. After conducting an investigation, Kairi finally finds out that the man who was with Momo that night was Sei's order to frame Momo. Kairi then traps Sei into revealing all her evil plans to destroy Toji and Momo's relationship. However, after learning the truth, Toji decided to end his love affair with Momo anyway. Though Toji is initially defiant, he reluctantly breaks up with Momo to protect her because Sei threatens to discredit Momo with her newly acquired access to the mass media. Even though Momo insisted that she didn't want to break up with Toji, he ignored Momo and asked her to leave him. Kairi, knowing this, then confronted Toji and scolded him for wasting Momo, who loved him so much. Momo looks very frustrated after her love affair with Toji ran aground. Even so, Kairi always accompanied and comforted her. Kairi always visits Momo, takes her for walks, and even makes delicious dishes for her. Momo just found out that Kairi is really good at cooking. While they were eating together, Kairi told Momo that she had the most beautiful smile he had ever seen. Even though Momo always saw Toji and Sei's closeness at school, Kairi was always by her side to cheer her up. However, Momo eventually begins dating Kairi, whom she had previously considered annoying, and soon falls in love with him. Momo now looks happier with Kairi, and the two always seem to be together and inseparable. One day, Momo gives Kairi a keychain she made herself. She then met Kairi's brother Ryo, who invited Momo to his wedding with Misao. On the other hand, Kairi's father still compares himself to Ryo and corner Kairi by saying he is a useless child. The next day, Kairi vents his frustration on his father by playing basketball, then accidentally leaves his cell phone at the school gym. Sei found Kairi's cell phone and then replaced the wallpaper with a photo of a woman who was none other than Misao. After that, Sei handed the phone to Momo. Seeing another woman's photo on Kairi's cell phone and using it as wallpaper, Momo immediately felt jealous. One night, while at a party, Momo gets into a serious conversation with Misao about Kairi. Misao reveals that she had been Kairi's tutor to help him study some time ago. Momo then accidentally caught Kairi and Misao, who were alone, and engaged in a warm conversation because they both seemed comfortable with each other. Momo again feels jealous and thinks that Kairi actually likes Misao, not her. Meanwhile, Momo finally found out the real reason why Toji decided to break up with her. However, when Toji expressed his love for Momo, Momo even felt confused about her own feelings, whether she still loved Toji or loved Kairi. Toji and Momo then visit a restaurant where Kairi won a cooking competition and received a plaque of appreciation displayed in front of the restaurant. After seeing Kairi's work, which really describes his love for Momo, Momo immediately felt touched and burst into tears. Realizing that now Momo has completely forgotten about him and loves Kairi very much, he decides to let Momo get Kairi's love back. Meanwhile, Kairi is trying to retrieve the gift Momo gave her, which was snatched by a group of thugs who then threw it into the sea. Without thinking, Kairi threw himself into the sea to retrieve the gift. Kairi managed to get the object back, although he almost drowned and became unconscious in the process. Momo, who knew Kairi's whereabouts, then tried to save him and managed to bring him back to the beach. Momo then gave CPR to save Kairi's life, and finally Kairi came back to his senses and was very happy to see Momo by his side. The couple then confessed their feelings to each other and regained their happiness. Through this film, we are shown that evil will never win against good until then. Although Sei always tries to destroy Momo's happiness, in the end Momo always finds happiness because of her kindness and sincerity. Although Sei often did bad things to her, Momo never held a grudge against a girl, even trying to always be friends with her. On the other hand, we are shown Kairi, who is always optimistic and sees things from the good side, whereas Kairi is always the only person who can see the good in Momo when everyone is consumed by the gossip spread by Sei. Therefore, try to always do good to others and see the good in others, because it will always lead us to goodness.